One can speak to you about your physical, emotional, psychological, mental aspects, but your being, no. You are the witness of all of these. You are the witness of all of these. If I say to you, as I said before, somebody's parked a green car just by the office, could you move it please? Whose car is it? You might say, oh, yeah, sorry, it's me. So who is that? So, me. It's me, my car. You say, okay, it's your car, not you. You wouldn't say it's me, I am parked up there. You say, oh, you may say this, but you definitely you will mean my car is there, not me. And you also can speak about this body in the same detachment. You see? My body was so tired after the big long walk we did yesterday. My body was exhausted. My body, not me. My body. You go to the doctor because you have a cold and your ears are blocked. The doctor says, how is your hearing? Pardon? How is your hearing? Oh, yeah. This one, I'd say 35%. And this one is okay, 95%. What watches and knows the hearing is different in each one. You're not the hearing. Eyesight is not good. Okay, well, can you see this? No, my eyes, the left eye is good, better, the right one, not so good. What watches even the eyes and the seeing itself is watching. My sight is not as good as it used to be. My memory also is not as sharp as it used to be. My memory. I am not memory nor its content. Something observes memory. My ego. I used to have a big ego, but now my ego is so small. My ego also, not what I am. Something is aware. My ego, my car, my family, my nationality, my country, my gender. Fill out the forms. My. Take it, crush it up, throw it in the fire. Are you hurt? No. There are things that you are aware of them. Your relationship fall apart. Your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, walks out. You say, my life is over. My life. My faith, I don't have any more faith anymore. I used to believe in God. But after my house burned down and everything, I can't believe in God anymore. So my God, my belief also. Who is my? Who is saying I, my? My future doesn't look very bright. My past was better. Time, it sees time. The intellect, the powers of discrimination and discernment, it knows. Yes, I can, somehow I'm quite good at subtle distinctions and discernment between this and that. My sight, all of these things says my, like possessions. Leave all those things aside for a moment. What is the pulse that says I, my? Who is it? Who are you if you don't hold on to these things we just mentioned? That which perceives all of these. My body, my senses, time, future, past, memory, intellect, ego, life. Who are you? Leave all those aside. What is remaining? I. This I is what? Huh? The observer. Huh? Consciousness. Who is saying this? Slow down. Be present with your words. So when you speak, you and the words you speak, there must be one, a harmony. I don't want textbook answers. I want you to, when you speak, oh. Yeah? Feel it first. It's me. And me is what? Don't just use the words first. Get into the place of me. Be one with the me, who is not the body, not the senses, not time, not ego, not intellect, not desire, not belief, not religion. All those aside. Be that one, and then you can try and say something about it.
It's me speaking, using this body to speak.
Yes. Yes. Catch a hold of this me. Does it have a shape? Is it male or female?
Doesn't matter.
Huh?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, yes. But catch a hold of it.
Well, I am male. Now, my body is male.
Yes.
Yeah.
Body we've talked about, not the body.
It doesn't matter where
No, it does matter. It does matter, because if you say it doesn't matter, there's an avoidance there. Because something inside keeps using me, keeps using I. I want this, and oh, I didn't like that, man. You know, please don't do that again. And I, who are you? Here in this moment, you are being asked, who are you? You say, well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it does matter. It matters that for once you are clear, if you can be. Are you something tangible? Are you a distinct I? Can you feel it? Can you experience? And I will tell from the answer, from the energy of your answer, if you have understood. If it's just merely a verbal answer, it has no power. You see, this is what you don't get. You think you can speak things with words and they're enough, but they're only enough for fools, not for one who knows. When you speak something, really, you should really only speak something that comes from your heart. It has a power. It has life. You're not living life, you are life. If not, words are too cheap. They're too cheap. Oh, so and so, yeah, yes, yes, I'm the absolute. Oh, really? Yes, absolutely. Well, Mr. Absolute, your car is on fire. Oh my God. Yeah. There is a difference between what we say and who we are. This is the present state of our technology. But it works. And this is why I insist. Because enough said merely at the verbal level. Sometimes your answers, they're good enough. It says, yes, at a conceptual level, your answers are fine. At a vibrational level, it's not at all. It's just a puff of wind. You're saying something, it's true, but it's not yet your truth.
How do you get from that conceptual level to the feeling of it? How do you
Yes,
get there?
you must contemplate it over and over again. Over and over again. Because you may hear something and it has a hit to it. Don't just walk away. Otherwise your mind says, oh, been there, done that, very good, next. This is what happened. So you have to sit with that and say, my God, you know, wow, that I'm so stirred up by this or something, and something is here, and sit, just sit and be quiet if you can. Maybe you write the question down again, because I'll tell you what happens. when you're really onto something, your mind will play at forgetting it. You can't remember what was the question. Oh my God! And so you say, oh, yeah, maybe I'm not meant to remember it, because you're onto something. You say, write it down. What did you see? What did you hear? What was the impact on you? You know, who are you who was affected by this? Write it down and look at it and learn to keep quiet rather than scratching your head. Just be quiet and call up, you know, invoke the question to come up again and hold it in your being and just be quiet and feel it opening up itself. And it will remove the noise of you. And check it once and double check it and triple check it and quadruple check it. Keep checking it. And go away and send your emails and come back and check again. Just check it. Because if you look profoundly into one thing that really speaks to you in your heart, just one thing, it will open doors to many other things. Some things you learn, it's worth 1 point. Other things, one thing is worth 100 points. Because in this understanding, somehow it's not 100 mental points, but somehow it just awakens an awareness in you that is so all-encompassing. It's not just the little person. Because very often we're living in such a small space of consciousness, always just being the person. The only thing you know is the person. And yet your consciousness is a universal thing. Even this person you take yourself to be doesn't really exist. It's only an idea. It's a severe restriction or contraction of consciousness to stay in the modification called person, me, personally. And it's such a volatile state, always reacting, always judging, so insecure, always feeling I'm not quite there. It keeps you in division and all of this. And this must be some kind of spell where the consciousness, which is so all-encompassing, narrows down to just being a little person cringing in a corner in life. So I speak it out so it can be heard openly. And if inside you there's a space to say, let's see. Yeah. Not yes, no, but okay, I'm open to the possibility of what can be seen, what can be explored here. Then somehow something begins to find its own way of just opening up its own mystery in you. It's not all hard work and all beating yourself and trying. No. It is an understanding is awakening inside. And you may not know what has happened. Maybe can you keep still or sit there? An understanding is awakening inside. And this understanding is not something that maybe you cannot write a thesis about it or something. It's not for that. But it's almost like you're giving birth to yourself. It's a crazy thing to say. You're pregnant with your own self.
Mooji? I'm getting a bit confused at the moment.
Yeah.
The thing I'm getting confused about is, this is my body. I am in this body. I'm giving life to this body. This body is like a container. It contains the brain. There's a sort of mind. And now I'm going to give birth to myself. So, but is this this is also a concept, a mental concept, isn't it? So this is the point where I get confused.
Actually, everything you said before is concept.
Pardon?
Everything you said before is also concept.
True.
Because you say like, this is, I give life to this body. This body is me, is mine. If it is yours, keep it. See if you can keep it.
Well, one day I will leave it.
By choice.
I'm not that far, I don't know.
Well, you don't know how far. It could be today.
True.
You see? You will, if it's your choice, you say, okay, I give it up. Some do. They say tomorrow at 6 o'clock I'm leaving this body, and at 6 o'clock they go. Can you do that?
No.
No. So don't say it's your body. Did you choose this body?
Pardon?
Did you choose this body?
Well, I believe in this, but I don't know.
Yeah. At different times of your life, at 5 years old, you look in the mirror, you see a face, and you had a very strong sense of yourself. When you are 7 or 8 or 10, you look again, and the face is changing, and your thoughts about yourself is changing. Something observes this. It's not the same face. When you're 15, the same check, 20, 25, 30, 35, I don't know how old you are. You keep looking, you say like this, the face is changing. It's not the body that was born to your parents. But you're looking. But something is constantly there. That which can evaluate all those different stages. Which was most like you? Which was most you? When you were 7 or 10, you had a strong sense of who you are. When you were 15, you had another sense. 20, some people go to war. They have a strong belief in this. Okay? Which one of these identities is most you?
None of them.
None of them.
So it's, I'm observing. I'm observing. So the
Yeah.
question is for me, who am I? So I am an observer.
When I say giving birth to yourself, I don't mean physically. Unless you're a hermaphrodite or something. What I meant is that somehow out of yourself an awakening to your true nature is being born. There's a story in the Christian Bible. Jesus was a teacher in ancient Palestine, and he spoke very strongly sometimes and criticized the religious leaders at the time, the Sadducees, the Pharisees, and teachers of the law, and so on, because he felt that there was many hypocritical things being taught, and he challenged it. And so many of them were out to get him. They didn't like the fact that he was exposing and like this and speaking so openly. But there was one teacher of the law. His name was Nicodemus. I don't know if you remember or heard this story. Nicodemus was also a Pharisee, I think, or teacher of the law there. But he had a secret admiration for Jesus. He kind of liked him, provocative as he was, or appeared to be to them. And he wanted to have a one-to-one with Jesus, and they arranged to have a little satsang in the night, because Nicodemus didn't want to be seen in full daylight with such a rebellious sounding character. No? So he met in the night. They met quietly. Jesus said to him, a man must be born again in order to see the kingdom of heaven. And Nicodemus, who is a pundit, a wise man, he says, you mean a man must go back up into his mother's womb or something? That's a literal kind of thinker, you see? That's why Jesus criticized them. He says, no, Nicodemus, not like that. Not like that. He says, flesh gives birth to flesh. Spirit gives birth to spirit. He says, feel the wind. You don't know where it's coming from or where it's going. Such is the one who is born of the Spirit. Meaning, they're not predictable. You see. So this born of Spirit is something that much of our life we are living only like flesh and blood. Thinking only like, somehow you are just this person who has been educated or conditioned to a certain kind of life and a certain role to play and so on. And people can go through entire human lifetime without discovering the things we are here now talking about and looking into, and some of you may be in direct contact with that now. That dimension of your being, which does not need training, which is natural and pure. in which those amongst us who are familiar or who are drawn to spiritual knowledge and experience, they have a high aspiration to be free of the dictation, the dictates of mind, the influence of mind, the hypnosis of conditioning, and to realize the true nature, the highest potential to human experience, to realize themselves as one with the cosmic being. All this is possible. So giving birth to yourself simply means that. It means coming out of the small thinking of merely conditioned mind, and to point clearly how you cannot merely be that to experience this. So there's no need to be confused. Even confusion also is a kind of mental state.